going to put everybody on mute. Okay. So thank you for joining me for this introduction to EFT. If anybody can open their videos, I'd appreciate that. If it's a problem, that's okay. So what is EFT and why am I giving you the introduction? So EFT is one therapy modality, even though it is based on Eastern medicine. It is based on acupressure and acupuncture related modalities. It has been derived from that. So you can say it is a mix of acupressure and psychology without using the needles. Okay, so it's an easier modality which has been developed. It was developed by a student, a psychology student, and I think he was also a reverend or something, but it has not been developed by any clinical hypnotherapist, psychologist, nobody. Okay, so this is one modality which is said to work super fast. But the thing is, you have to know what exactly you're using it for. So EFT basically means emotional freedom technique, wherein it gives you freedom from the emotions which are blocking you. Okay. So how does it work? How it works is our body consists of electrical energy. Okay, there is electrical energy flowing in our body from one part to the other. That's why, let's say you touch a hot thing, the pain immediately goes, and within seconds it passes via electricity to your mind. It says that you got hurt, you have pain. Okay, pain is a word, it interacts that particular feeling with. So the same thing, immediately it tries to give a logical explanation. What do you, I would say a causation to why it has happened. If the pain has registered in your mind, it will tell you it is because you have touched that hot dish or hot cup or something spilled on you. Something hot spilled on you. So when that causation is given, that is what is registered in your mind. But all these things, they all occur only because of this electrical energy which flows in your body. Now, these electrical energies have energy centers. Okay, these are not the energy centers we usually talk about, the chakra energy centers. No, these energy electrical centers are called as meridians. So Western medicine always concentrates on the chemical reactions on the body, and Eastern medicine concentrates on the electrical part of the body, electrical energy. That is the difference between the Western medicine and the Eastern medicine. So the Eastern medicine, when you talk about the Oriental Chinese medicine, like acupressure, acupuncture, or our things which we do, I think it's called it's a modality which is used in Kerala, wherein they use the again they concentrate on the meridians. Okay, so this EFT is one modality which has been developed to ease that particular meridian points. Okay, so what they did in EFT is they have given a list of meridian points and how to use those meridian points, and how to release the emotions. Now, it is not, why am I concentrating on the word emotions? Because emotions are the ones which cause physical pain also. They are the ones which might push you into depression. They are the ones which make you lose sleep, cause insomnia. They are the ones which might cause you to have back pain, constant chronic pain, stomach aches, stomach upset, or heart palpitations, gas, and headaches, migraine headaches, shoulder pain, frozen shoulder, knee pain, ankle pain. See, all these things we think that, okay, this has happened because of this. Like I mentioned, the body has this crazy habit of giving causation to whatever happens. Okay, let's say you're not an athlete, but by the time you're 40, your knees start hurting. Your body will tell you that this is exactly what happened to your mother and your grandmother, so this is what will happen to you, and you start accepting it. Or if you have a frozen shoulder, they will say that you have worked too long on the computer and that is the reason you have a frozen shoulder. Okay. Or if it is spondylitis, or if you have headaches, they'll say that, something must be wrong with your eyes. Probably the nerves have weakened, whatever that means, the nerves have weakened. Or if it is when it comes to stomach ache, they will say that, oh, this generation eats a lot of junk, so you have stomach ache. But the cause behind all these is emotions. It is your body trying to talk to you. It is your body telling you you are doing something wrong. You are hiding something in your body which does not belong here. The energy which is located in this particular part of the body, let's say the stomach, you have stomach upset. The stomach is telling you that the energy you have stored in this part of the body does not belong here. And if it has come to you for protection, it has come for a reason. Find the root cause of that and kick that emotion out. That is what your body is telling you. Okay, so talk to your body, listen to your body. But the most important thing is when these emotions come, how do you release them immediately? So EFT is one modality I have seen which helps. It works wonders. Especially, I have seen that EFT works in certain modalities exceptionally well, which is fears, phobias, addictions. Although yes, because these are chronic problems, you might take a bit of time to release it, but it will help to release. Like it could be addictions like anything, smoking, drinking, gaming, watching too much mobile, reading too much books, any of these can be an addiction. Or wanting to have pani puri every single day. See, addictions don't have a reason, you just do it because every time you do it, your body releases those happy hormones, and which makes you think that only this thing will help me release those happy hormones. There is no substitution for it. That is the reason we become an addict. Okay, and this addiction could be to relationships, it could be to things, it could be to situations, it could be to a number of things. Yes, Rainika ma'am.
Ma'am, does it work for like people who are workaholic also?
Yes, I mean, see, any modality will work only if they want it to work, first thing. Okay, because all these modalities, at least that is what I have realized, all these modalities work on people's destinies, ma'am. If it is destined for them to work that way, then they will keep on doing it till the body tells them that, stop. And how will the body tell them? It will tell them by giving them severe back pain, severe headache, like I said, frozen shoulder, wrist pain, the, what do you have in that term? Yes, Rudra, it's okay. You have the carpal tunnel, all these things are going to happen only when the body is trying to tell you you are overworking. So when it tells you that, go and lie down for 10 minutes. Tell the body that, I'm doing this. So let me, I'm sorry I hurt you. So let me lie down for 10 minutes. Okay. But if it is a workaholic, like you said, they might not be ready to listen to the body also. Right? So that is the reason this EFT comes into picture, wherein you can release that pain immediately and then respond to your body instantly. Like whatever your body tells you, you're responding to it instantly by saying, yes, I listen to you. I hear you. I understand what you're trying to say. Clear, ma'am? Renika, ma'am?
Ah, yes, ma'am. But you mean to say that the realization should come for them from inside? From inside.
Because see, it is a perception, ma'am. Like if you say a person is a workaholic, the person might not believe it. He might say that, I'm not. He might be like, I'm doing only as much as I can, or I have to do this, or there's no other way, So until and unless it gets through them that they have to stop at some point, that is when they start listening to the body. Okay.
Yeah. Like some people, they have that need to suffer like that. Like they have that internal need to
I
suffer.
would say the internal need to suffer, it is like they don't know when to stop. They don't know that, they're pushing themselves too hard. They don't know they have come to a stage where, suddenly they're 60. Suddenly they have come to a stage where they have to retire, and they're like, where did my life go? They don't know where to stop. So slowly you can tell them that, yes, don't you think you're working too hard? Don't you think you should take a break? Just 10 minutes break, not more than that. 10 minutes, don't you think you should take a break? Like that you can tell them first, so that they slowly get into the idea of um, uh, taking breaks, like every 1 hour or every half an hour or something. Just take a small walk and come, or something like that. So it takes a bit of time, because work is also an addiction, right? So coming back to EFT, so I have one session which is coming up in May, and which you might join. And as you all know, I don't price my workshops a lot, but this workshop is going to be super useful for releasing any kind of emotions. Like last, I think 10 days back, I had put up about releasing emotions, right? Just releasing emotions in 10 minutes. It is okay to release emotions that way if they are the top layer. But if you have emotions related to trauma, or intense pain, or if it is chronic, like, you have been having the pain and you have been ignoring for, like, say 5 years, 10 years, because you felt that you just had to push yourself and you had to do it. See, what happens is in 20s, 30s, I would say kind of in early 40s also, we have very strong mental power. And the mental power, what it does is it helps us suppress a lot of things. But once we cross that 40s, or late 40s, when we reach, you come to a stage where the emotions which you have suppressed might come out in a different form, not in the same form. If it is let's say hurt, let's say somebody said, you if the child grows up in a family wherein the abuse, the verbal abuse is quite a lot. It might not sound like abuse for the parents nor the child, okay? It might be like, you're like this only, it's okay, you can only do this much. I don't think you need to push yourself anymore, because you're not capable of it, you're not worthy of it. See, these things are extremely hurtful. Even lower than that, okay? When people say that, you are too naughty, I don't know what you will become when you are older. um, you're too hyper, I don't know what you will do when you start a job. This is to a 2-year-old, 3-year-old, 4-year-old, okay? Or if it is in terms of marks, okay, because we live in an extremely competitive world, wherein the marks make no sense in the future, and yet when you are studying, the marks make all the sense in the world, okay? So if you get lesser marks, you end up saying that maybe you can get only this much. Why don't you join commerce? You're not fit for science. See, these things, during that time you will suppress it. During that time the body will think that, acha, okay, probably I'm not worthy of doing a becoming an engineer, or if you want to become a scientist or a researcher or something. And then you end up uh, going towards some other field. Or if you like fine arts, but they tell you that fine arts has no future, and you end up going into the science field. See, things like this, they happen. It's a very common thing, very common in all Asian countries, not just in India. I would say it's in all Asian countries, okay? Because people measure a success in terms of how much you earn as you grow older. But what happens is when you come into your 40s, your protection barrier has weakened. Okay, you have basically put it in a drum and you have put the lid on it. But when you leave the drum and the lid in the sun, in the rain, you just leave it for a number of years, what happens? The lid weakens, right? It weakens. And when that lid weakens, whatever junk you have put inside is going to start smelling. It's going to start coming up. You can see maggots in that. And what are these maggots? These are the insecurities. You start thinking as you grow older. Let's say you are in your 40s and your kid wants to do science. You will think that, Arey, he has my brains. How can he do science? I don't think he can go ahead with it. Let him go into some other field. If not science, even if the child is smart, you cannot acknowledge it with the fear of jinxing it. Okay. And you will also not be confident enough to encourage your child in front of others, because you will worry that whatever has happened to you might happen to the child. What is happening? Your burden is being carried down to the child. Another thing is the insecurity in your work. When you are insecure inside, insecurity is what will manifest in your external world. It's possible when you're going for a promotion interview or something, you might feel scared that, do I deserve this? And when we question ourselves, that is what the universe will understand. The universe understands only certain words. That's why affirmations work. Okay. So this EFT modality, what it does is it includes the, like I said, the meridian points, acupressure without the needles, along with affirmations. See, two powerful modalities being mixed into one. That is the reason EFT is so powerful. Okay. So there are certain people for whom, I personally use EFT quite a lot. Like if I'm feeling scared or something, suddenly I use EFT to release it immediately. But then I know what, I have been into healing for a number of years. So I'm closely connected to my body. So I know what it is doing to my body. Okay. But in case you don't know and you just want to release something easily, then I would really suggest you learn EFT. Okay. See, one thing I have been telling you people since a long time is, instead of going to a doctor, a healer, a therapist, learn the modality. It's always good to learn. Okay. And this will also help you with your family, your children, your relatives. It's going to help you quite a lot. So give it time. And see, one thing I can tell you, any modality you cannot learn in a 1 hour session. Okay. You can learn the modality, but the experience takes time. Right? So when you learn a modality, it can be any modality. It can be Reiki, it can be EFT, it can be Vedic mantras, any modality, I would say. Give it time. Believe in it. Okay, first thing is the belief, because the modality has come to you for a reason from the universe. So believe in it and then go ahead with it. Okay, so any questions regarding this? I will take the questions and then I'll give you the details of when the workshop will be. Any questions about this? No questions? All right. So I will be doing the EFT session on 6th May, which is Saturday. It will be a 1 hour session, and I'm still thinking about the time because it is a Saturday. Many people prefer it either late or in the afternoon or something. So I'm still not sure. I'll be discussing with somebody regarding this, and then I'll mention the timing. Okay, so I am pricing it at 499, and like you know, you will be getting a lot more than just EFT when you join my sessions. Okay, so any questions regarding this, or we will just end the session here, and then anybody who has questions regarding the rest, I think uh, Ragini ma'am had a couple of questions. Let me see if she's going to join the session, and depending on that, we will continue. Okay, she had mentioned a few things regarding bitterness due to unwanted events. So when we talk about bitterness due to unwanted events, it means that you were either a child wherein you know these things happened to you where you had no control over, or it could be an abusive relationship or something like that. Um, any attachment with an event will will allow you to stay connected to that event constantly. Okay, so one thing you have to remember is the importance. No, ma'am. Reiki is an energy what do you say? It's an energy modality wherein you start channeling the energy into your body. EFT is a therapy modality wherein whatever blockages you have in your body, you will be releasing it. Okay, it could be any kind of blockages, physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual, you know, any kind of blockages, they will be, they can be removed through EFT. Okay, so what was I saying? Yes, attachments. But first thing you have to learn about releasing your emotions is your attachment to that particular event. Let's say a child underwent a physical abuse during childhood. I mean, you know, he or she was hit um, uh, regularly. Okay, when they were a child, they were hit regularly. This happened till the child was like say 11 years or 12 years, and then it stopped because either the child moved away from the parents, the parent died, whatever it must have happened. Okay, the situation has changed, or the parent got the realization that he shouldn't hit, and then he stopped hitting. Now if the child is in say 20s or 30s, if the child still remembers that hitting, okay, then it is very hard. See, it is not just about forgiving and forgetting. It is about you being gentle on yourself and saying that you were hit. It's okay. It's okay. You know, you couldn't do anything at that time, but it is okay. Right now, you are in a good place, right? So if there is any fear associated with that particular thing, you will have to release the fear, but you will also have to cut the cords with that particular memory. It is important. Okay, cord cutting is one thing. You can, you know, just send me a message or something if you are interested in the cord cutting. I'll help you do it in one session, because see, cord cutting is something which will help your mind to forget that particular incident slowly. Okay, so that is one method wherein you do the cord cutting. The second thing is you slowly peel off all the emotions associated with that particular incident, and as you remove it, You let go of your thoughts related to that incident also. See, what happens is the mind, it does not only remember the incident. Okay, I'll give you one example. Let's say your father was hitting you, your mother was standing there staring at you because she could not control the father. Okay, when that happens, the anger shifts towards the mother, not the father. Most of the time what happens is the child will be more angry with the mother than with the father, because the mind accepts that, okay, this guy will hit, either way he'll hit, whether I'm being good, whether I'm being bad, the moment he sees me he will hit. Okay, the mind has accepted that. But when it comes to the mother, she is in the role of a protector according to the child, which she has not taken care of. Hence, the anger towards the mother will be more. The anger which is associated with the mother almost will be murderous. They will be so angry with the mother that, because see, they have to channel that anger towards somebody, right? And when you're getting hit, you being the victim cannot channel that anger towards the person hitting you. That will come later. But at that particular instant, it will channel towards the person who is in the room, the other person who is in the room. As the child grows older, what happens is the mind will also play tricks. The mind can also say that she was just sitting there. Probably what happened is he was hitting, she was standing there and crying or just staring or whatever. But the mind will say, no, she was sitting happily. After 10 years, it will say, she was sitting and she was having food. She did not even get up to help me out. See, the mind plays tricks. So as you grow older, another layer will cover over it with a different story. If this happened when the child was 2 years old or 3 years old, by the time the child is 40, the story becomes something else. It will be like, it might even reach to a stage where she will say that, where the child will say that, my mother used to enjoy my father hitting me. Right? Nobody knows what the truth is. Sadly, the victim's mind also does not know what the truth is. So as you peel the layers, that is when the truth will come out. But as you peel the layers, each layer is very strong. It's like ripping off a band-aid. Each layer will hurt. Okay, and each layer you need to be strong enough to bear that pain. So when you do when you want to let go, when I always tell people to let go, it's not as easy as I tell you. Okay, it's not as easy. So give it time. Give it time. First thing is belief that yes, it will release. Second thing is acceptance that, okay, I am ready to release this. I don't want it anywhere in my life. The third is surrender that, okay, I went through that. I went through it and I had no control at that time. So I am going to, just surrender to that thought that, it happened. Jo hua so hua. Whatever had to happen, happened. The future is what is in your hands. More than the future, the present is in your hands. If you always hang on to the past, when will you enjoy the present? It's possible that you were abused when you were a child, but now if you have a loving husband, loving children, and you want to hold on to the past, then aren't you letting go what the universe has given you? Right? It is not easy. I'm telling you. Yes, even I agree. It is just not easy to let go of what has happened to you, but it has happened. Right? It has happened and you had no control at that time. When you had no control at that time, just mentally scan your body, find out where that is hiding, and if you can, tap it out. the first step will be to find them. No, even before that, I think the first step would be to accept that you went through it. That's it. Okay. Why? Leave it. Why, how, when, what, where, all these leave it when you come towards healing. Okay, leave that. Just think that I went through this. That is the first step. The second is, what happened when you went through that? I mean, what emotion came into you when you went through that? Then find that emotion. Okay, gently find that emotion. And when you find that emotion hiding somewhere in your body, what you can do is tap it out. Okay, but if you cannot tap it, and if you cannot find it, that is when EFT is going to help you. Like, let's say you feel insecure for no reason. Okay, you're doing good, you have a good job, good spouse, kids, you have a good house, everything you have, and yet you're not happy, and some discontent you have in your life. Okay, so when you have things like that, that is when EFT comes into play. That is when EFT is going to help you move forward, enjoy the present. Okay, see, when I learned EFT, I did not understand it, to be very frank. Okay, I did not understand it because, it could be the way my mentor taught, it could be the way I understood it. That, both ways it works, right? So almost 1 year I didn't touch it. I was like, what is this modality that, I just don't understand. It's just not making any sense to me. Okay, and then I started, I think, in December last October or November. October, I think I started. I read 13 books on it, and then I started practicing it myself. Okay, everything, every emotion I have, I would learn to I would release it with EFT. Okay, I practiced and practiced and practiced and practiced, and that is when I understood that it is one of the most simplest modalities I have used. And yes, I work with more than 15 modalities when it comes to my therapy and my healing. And most of my modalities work in just 1 or 2 sessions. Many of you have come for my sessions, and you know how fast my modalities work. But even compared to that, I have felt that, EFT works wonders. Okay, it works very, very fast. But again, you have to be ready for it. Hello, Ragini ma'am.
Hello, ma'am.
Your voice.
Just a minute.
Yes.
Sorry, I actually forgotten. Just now I was checking.
Now, I was just explaining about that attachments which you had asked for. Ragini ma'am, your video is stuck. All right, let's move ahead. So any questions regarding anything in what I have spoken to you? Ragini ma'am, I just explained about that attachments which you had asked about how to release the attachment.
Yes.
Go through the recording once, please.
Yeah, surely, surely.
Okay, that and there's one thing which I wanted to discuss in the group today, wherein you said you're a 50-50 combination of both parents.
Yes.
That's a very interesting statement to make, actually. I liked it. Okay. But the thing is, even though you're a combination of both your parents, you yourself are a soul who has taken birth for a specific purpose. Right? Remember that. Always remember that. When you start thinking that, okay, I'm behaving like my mother, or I'm behaving like my father, cut that thought.
Okay.
Cut it. Like, immediately cut it, saying that, no, this is my thought. Yes. See, whatever, there are many things we learn from them. Okay.
Hmm.
We learn from them, and which we use, like, my mental strength comes from my mother. And my, being meticulous about certain things comes from my father. So these are characteristics, I would say. They're not how I behave. They are how I behave in a certain situation, which I learned from them.
Right.
So,
Uh,
yes, ma'am.
yeah, here in this case, what happened? Yeah, those good characteristics are always there, but some behavioral aspects, like subconscious mind has taken that, and like bursting out in anger and shouting and things like that. And then later on, I feel guilty also. And these things are like I have taken up from one of my parents. So
So if
maybe subconsciously I have.
yeah, if you went through this in your childhood before you were 8 years old, the
Yes.
subconscious mind might have picked it up,
Yeah.
right? So there is something called a 5-second rule, ma'am, which you can follow.
Mhm.
See, every
Okay.
emotion, whether it is tears or anger or whatever it might be,
Mhm.
your mind recognizes it like a few milliseconds before it starts. Okay, few milliseconds. Be conscious. When you are conscious, na, you will be able to recognize. Okay, I'm going to burst. I'm getting angry.
Mhm.
You will understand it. When that happens, say 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's called a 5-second rule, and it works wonders. So the 5-second rule works on your reptilian mind, wherein as you count it, it will forget the thought.
Okay. I mean, it's been many years I'm fighting for this, this behavior to change.
No, it
But
will happen. Use the 5-second rule. The only thing is, you have to be conscious that in few milliseconds before, your mind will tell, I'm getting angry. Few milliseconds before you will know.
that is about, anger. But many things like in, before 8 years, many things have impacted, and my subconscious mind has picked up. Like both my parents are very angry, and from father, I have, he was very controlling, extremely angry person, and uh, when I was a kid, I don't know, but I was extremely fearful of him. I used to hide behind my mother whenever my father used to come in the house. So that has not got over, and now I'm realizing, I always behave in a way, anyone can control me around me. My husband, my son, my mother, my brother. So because he used to control me a lot, and I was very fearful. So, and same things happen whenever I work in office also. So I follow the orders of my bosses and what to do, what not to do. I mean, so it's like, then now I started realizing that I behave in a way that I automatically give other people control. So
Yeah.
that is a
See, the
behavior that
first
I
part
have.
is realization, ma'am. You have already gotten it. You got the realization that this is happening, right? So
Mhm.
the second would be to release that fear.
Mhm.
You can either do a session with me, or you can do the workshop. Either way, I'll teach you the EFT. Either way, it's okay. So we
Mhm.
can do with the EFT. Along with that, you can what do you say? I mean, if you think you're being bullied, then you're undergoing harassment or something, then we can look into it. But otherwise, I feel that it is all in your head. See, what
Mhm.
happens is, when there is fear in our head that somebody will reprimand us, then that is what will manifest. It will manifest everywhere. Like, everybody will start doing that. So if
That is what's happening. It is maybe behind the back of my mind. So
yeah, it could be registered in your subconscious mind that you're scared,
yes.
right? Yeah,
So you can help me in this also,
I
like
can help you
or
in
they
that.
will EFT. Yeah.
I can help you in that. It'll take a bit of time, like nothing happens immediately, but we can keep working on it so that it releases. But EFT could work for this.
And what happened, ma'am? Later on, my father realized that my own daughter is not talking to me and she is hiding behind whenever I'm in home. So later on, he changed his behavior. Then later on, like after my 7, 8 years of age, he is my best friend till date. He did everything for me, and I was a most pampered princess of him. No one did no one loved more than him. But because of that, also sometimes I feel I can't trust people. I can't trust people like that.
So I can suggest two things, ma'am. One is if you know there is fear, we release it with EFT. Otherwise, you can be an inner child healing we can
Mhm.
do, wherein
Mhm.
you go back and bring all those parts of soul which have stayed in the back. So
Yeah.
child healing we will have to do, I think, 1 or 2 sessions should work.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
Surely, ma'am. Yeah. So
Okay.
I will ping you later on this so we can take it further. Yeah.
Perfect. Perfect. Not an issue.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah. Anybody else? Any other questions? All right. We'll end it over here. If you have any questions, you can put them in the group. I will be sharing the details of the workshop in the group also. Okay. So have a good night, everybody, and have a wonderful week. Okay. Good night.